slowed GA lesion growth over 2 years with increasing effect over time.
All right, guys, we are now live.
GA 6 doses.
I felt bad about that. Troy hit me up on Facebook just a couple minutes ago and said, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it. Something came up. And I was like, man, really wanted you there. He was fun. It's like the hat you got on, Greg.
It's the Hatbox Ghost.
I see that.
I just thought I'd be a smart aleck.
Well, I put hair on your head.
Yeah.
I've had this link shared for like a whole week, so we'll see how many people decide to come join us. Right now, we have one watching. I don't know who they are, so if you're welcome to come in and join us. Please introduce yourself and let us know you're here. There you go, David.
Hey, David.
Hello, Mr. Glunt. Hi, Charlene Grady. How you doing? David Glunt, by the way, I've seen some of your Facebook posts. You're a pretty funny dude. I've been enjoying that. For those that don't know, we don't have a whole lot here, but for those that don't know, I just celebrated my mom's birthday Thursday. She just turned 90. And I put out a YouTube video and I put it on Facebook. That's not the only video. There's going to be another one coming up. I did not have all of the other pictures and the video taken from other people. And unfortunately, because it was shared on Facebook, I have to take a laptop computer to her apartment and meet with everybody else and say, hey, let me have your phone for a second. Let me download what you recorded so I have it on the computer so I can bring it back and I can actually put it all up, because something about sharing videos on Facebook and the messenger part, they're limited on how long they can be and how big they can be and all that. And you just do it on the laptop. All right, so you know what's funny, Greg? Last weekend when we tried this and I could not get my camera to work, you know what was happening? I had my phone in my pocket. It was StreamYard for some reason was saying, we're going to use your phone. We're not going to use the camera that you got connected to your computer. We're going to use your phone. And then when my phone gave me the message, I was like, all right, we'll bring it up on the phone. And the phone only lasted, I don't know, what was it, 20 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay, we're not doing this either. And I'm like, all right, what happened here? And it turned out to be in settings on StreamYard. It was actually trying to make it go right straight to my phone. So I went in and said, no, I don't want to do that. I actually went out and bought another camera, exactly as the one I'm using right now. And when I hooked it up, I learned a new lesson. I have a microphone connected to my computer. When we're doing this, it's not the microphone that's connected to my computer that you're hearing. It's the microphone connected to the camera.
Oh.
I didn't know that camera had a microphone attached to it.
Yeah, mine has one too.
I didn't know it until I bought the new one. He's like, you want to use the microphone? Yes. It came with one. Wait a minute. I'm looking at them going, these are two exact cameras. So I've got a spare one now.
Yeah, like I said last week, I love mine. I haven't had a problem with it.
Well, if this one should ever die, or if I decide to take it to another computer, I got one computer now. It's called Just Think. It didn't come with a camera. And it did come with the audio built-in, but it didn't come with a camera. And I've taken this camera down to that one, but now I've got it bolted to a shelf. I can't take this one down, so I do have another one available. So if I want to go to a different location, I can. And I've got that camera to tote around with me. And of course, I've got my laptop, which I thought tonight I was going to have to do it off my laptop. I was like, oh, I don't know what happened last week. I can't get this camera to work. And it turned out to be that, yeah, this camera works fine. You just can't have your phone connected to the computer.
Right.
I didn't know it would do that. I didn't. I don't have StreamYard on that phone. So it's kind of weird. Hi, Darlene or Arlene, how you doing?
Hey, Arlene.
I don't have StreamYard on that phone. It's not like I'm going around, like Dave and Rusty's guys doing lives driving down the road with my phone. And I was like, I did not know my phone was connected to it. And I could not get it. I could not get the camera to work. And I was like, I don't know. And I went back on StreamYard and just created a real quick live just to do a test. And I was like, wait a minute, what settings telling me? So I was telling me you're using the wrong camera.
Oh,
Well, that camera's not supposed to be available.
right.
It was pretty wild. It was pretty wild. Yeah, I felt bad about Troy not being able to join us tonight. I really wish he could have, because we actually had something good last week going on, even though I wasn't visually part of it. But that's all right.
Is he all right, or didn't he say?
He didn't say. He didn't say.
All
He just said he had something come up and he wasn't going to be able to join us. I don't think it has something to do with him directly. I think it has to do with somebody in the family or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Because of the way he worded it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
With Intibio, you may be able to pay as little as $5 per dose. Ask
So I see Mike and Lissa finally got their mailbox put up today.
Yeah.
I sent him a message in the bottom of the video. I didn't do it as like hey Mike, listen to me. I'm talking to you right here. I sent it as part of a chat on the video and said, Mike, if you want custom vinyl lettering for that mailbox, all you got to do is tell me what you want and where to mail it, and I will get it to you. I can. I got a vinyl plotter. I did it for Gary. There's no reason why I can't do it for Mike and Lissa. If they want Dripped and Dreamers 5 written real pretty on there, I can do that. If they just want their names or whatever, I can do that.
You see they changed their logo?
No, I did not.
Yeah, it's on Facebook.
Okay,
it's the same mountain. It's the same mountains with DD5, but I think it's a shooting star or a spaceship or something coming into the screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't pay attention. I showed their videos today. I didn't even pay attention to the logo on that either. I just know it was them, and I was like, all right, click on it, watch it. That's my typical MO.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Symmetry looks good.
That's cool. I'll have to check it out.
Renaissance. Amy, I'm more of an Enlightenment person.
So what have you got exciting going on this week, Greg?
I actually took 2 days off of work, and today we went to my father-in-law's house, and my brother and I set up a yard sale there from the stuff that we got out of the storage unit, and we did pretty good. They live in Binghamton.
Okay. You're not gonna do it.
And tomorrow we're gonna head over to Jim May's flea market here in Conklin and set up over there. So I have to be up at 4:30 to go out to Endicott to pick him up, and then come back, get the trailer, and then go to the flea market. But
That's pretty early.
yeah, this morning I was up at 4.
I was up at 4:30. I've had a problem. The sun comes up, and I'm just like, okay, it's getting warm out.
Yeah, I'm used to getting up at 2:00. My alarm's set for every night at 2 a.m. because of work, but
I can't handle that. I don't have to go to work, so I don't get my alarm set for 7, and you're lucky to see me by 9.
yeah, I'll be off the whole first week of July. I have to go have the final injection in my back, my lower back. Huh?
Cortisone?
I don't know if they're doing cortisone or what. But that one, he told me to bring somebody with me that could drive me home.
Yeah, it's probably cortisone. They don't want you moving a whole lot because
Yeah,
what
so
I
I'm taking
what I
the week off.
what I learned from getting cortisone in my ankle, which is funny, is it said once they give you the shot, you're not supposed to do a lot of walking. You want to stay off your feet. That way you don't move the shot out of the area.
Yep.
The second time I went to the hospital to get that shot done over in Ithaca,
So glad you
I
made
had to
it.
park a mile away.
Oh, jeez.
I was like, wait a minute, you just gave me a shot and you told me not to walk.
It's so nice to meet
They
you.
had buses parked in where people have trouble walking signs.
Yep.
They had two buses parked end to end in that whole area. And when they told me that, I was like, well, wait a minute. You got two buses taking up the area that I should be parked into, where I don't have to walk a whole lot.
Oh my God.
And now I have to walk a mile away in order to get back in my truck. That isn't going to work if you're telling me I shouldn't walk after I got the shot. And I actually made the hospital administration call the maintenance guy and have him come over and pick me up with a gator, pick me back over to where my truck was parked.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I got a buddy that's gonna go with me. They told me, I mean, the nurse told me it's only if they have to give me volume,
Okay.
but I don't have any of that put in my body.
No, I don't either. Well, if you ever need somebody to go with you on something like that, don't be afraid to reach out. You got my number.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
I would be more than happy to do that for you.
Yeah, I'm hoping this works. Because if it doesn't, I'm done.
Yeah, see, I have to go every 90 days for cortisone in my ankle because of my shot heel. It's created so many problems with arthritis and stuff in that foot. If I don't get those shots, I don't walk. You know,
Yeah.
The shot lasts about 60 days after they give it to me, and I got to wait 90 days to get the next one. And I've got braces I can wear. I mean, if need be, I can put my therapeutic boot back on if need be. But it gets to the point where my foot does not want to cooperate with me at all. And of course, you know, they say don't walk on uneven surfaces. Well, I'm sorry, but I live in New York.
Yeah.
I bet if I walked across your yard, I'd find a hole. Sure. We don't have flat land in New York.
No, none of New York.
Well, we don't live on golf courses. That's
Even
probably-
those are not flat.
No, but if you're on the green, it is.
Well, yeah. Well, you hope it is.
Just maybe a little
My chance of getting the ball to the green is 0.
Yeah.
My luck is just going to end up down in the rough somewhere, and I'll never find it again.
Yeah. Same here.
And did you know that my Amy played a
We used to have a joke going around. If you can find your ball, you won.
That's the first shot for me.
Yeah, I actually had one time with my brother. He hit a golf ball. We were on a new golf course. He hit his ball. It hit the road. It rolled underneath the minivan, went down into the ditch, popped up, and he got a hole in one.
Really?
Yeah, never touched the van, but he got a hole in one. And I was like, we are playing best ball, right? And he's like, well, what do you mean? And I said, there's no way I'd make that shot. If I hit the van, I'd hit the van. It wouldn't go underneath it by any means, and it sure wouldn't come out the front of it unless I hit it too hard. You know, in the back window, out the front window, and probably take out the driver.
I used to enjoy golf. I since I've been driving, I haven't had time to play.
I decided that it's not my game. It's not my game.
Yeah.
I tried it quite a few times. I had a lot of luck getting my ball to land center pond, end up in the rough, end up in the woods. I actually hit a guy one time with a golf ball. He was an old guy sitting on a golf cart, and he was not even in the same hole we were. It was like a tree line. and my ball cut right through that tree line, hit him in the shoulder, and knocked him off the golf cart. And I yell, "Heads up!" And my brother Dale's going, "No, you're supposed to yell 4."
Yeah.
What difference would that make? You know, it didn't solve any problems. I knocked him off his golf cart. And then I met his son the next day at a bar. Hey, I remember you. Didn't you go golfing over here? No. I've never been there.
Yeah. It must have been somebody else that looks like me.
Probably my other brother. It was funny. Yeah, I don't do that. I learned my lesson. I suck at it. There's too much money for what it's worth.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
I've been kicked off golf courses.
I remember when they were like $10, $15 to play 18 holes.
Yeah,
Now-
when you get a cart.
Yeah.
When you got a cart. Now it's $30 to get the cart and another $30 to play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not good at it. And to me, it's just a waste of money. It's a good way to hang out with my brother because he's really good at it. And my nephew Scott down in Florida, that kid actually got a college scholarship because he was so good at it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
No, he was like Tiger Woods, you know?
Yeah.
And they were like, well, let's go play golf. And I'm like, yeah, you don't want me to. I'm not going to help your team. We're not going to move forward. Unless we're playing best ball on every ball, it's not going to be a good game.
Right.
Find real interview and real results. Like skin that's still more clear at one
It was okay. How's your wife doing?
Use if you're allergic to Eplis.
I don't know if you can see her. She's right.
Yeah, I see the phone. but how's she doing?
She's doing good.
She's been taking care of mother-in-law for a while, right? Or mom.
Her mom, yeah.
Her mom.
She's doing good. I moved the computer out of downstairs to upstairs because we had got a lot of like Polo Ralph Lauren clothing and stuff like that out of one of the storage units.
All right.
So it's easier for us to print and everything up here and ship from up here than it is downstairs because I would have had to run back and forth up and down the stairs. And I'm like, no.
I got to do that all day long. I'm in my upstairs right now. I'm up and downstairs probably 50 times a day. But, I mean, for my foot, that's a good thing. It's exercise, you know.
Yeah. It bothers my back too much to do it. I mean, I can't even walk a good distance without it bothering me.
My brother Dale, his knees are so bad now. When he goes up and downstairs, he walks upstairs facing forward, and then he walks down the stairs facing the other way. He's got to walk backwards downstairs because his knees don't work proper.
Right.
I was like, turn around, look where you're going. He says, no, I can't, man. My knees are shot. And I was like, dude, you know?
Yeah.
But he's got the VA working with him and stuff on that kind of stuff. And he's making out really well from the VA for it. I went to the VA and they told me, you don't get anything.
I wish your dad could see
I served, why not? And they were like, yeah, well, you didn't serve long enough.
He would
Really?
be so proud.
I was like, well, how long do you need to serve? I was 4 years active and 6 years inactive.
For everything.
But I did reserves where he did straight Army.
Right.
That makes a difference, I guess.
Yeah, my father-in-law says the VA here in Binghamton is terrible.
That's where I went.
Yeah, they're terrible.
And I tried Syracuse too, and Syracuse is like, yeah, no.
Yeah, they're.
Perfect stuff that makes things perfect.
Did you see what our fabulous governor's doing?
Excuse me.
Oko?
Yeah.
That POS?
50,
I would pronounce that properly, but I can leave it like family friendly.
Yeah.
I don't like her. I haven't liked her since the day she got put in.
$50 million to
Yeah.
help
Pay legal fees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you and I are the ones paying for that.
Yeah. And meanwhile, she says, no, it's okay. We're going to be a sanctuary state. No, we're not.
Nope.
New York City sanctuary. Syracuse is sanctuary. Ithaca is sanctuary. I don't think Binghamton is it?
But we have some here.
Do you?
Yeah, we have some here.
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it at all.
I
I
agree with you. Hi, Lynn.
Hey, Lynn, how are we doing? I actually think that anybody that thinks their state should be sanctuary should be sanctioned by the government and not receive a federal dime until they change their ways.
That's it.
They aren't going to get it from us.
Give me your lipstick.
No.
You know what I'm saying? They're trying to, but they aren't going to get it from us.
Yeah, she's gonna end up getting voted out.
Oh well, I'm all for a couple people that are going against her right now. There was one. I don't remember the name. I put it on Facebook that if this guy actually runs, he's got my vote. He's got my vote. Even though he's still a Democrat, he's not her kind of Democrat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think New York can get another Republican in. New York City said no on that part, big time, because after Rudy Giuliani.
Believe it or not, I used to think that same thing. It's all New York City. It's not. It's upstate that keeps
Syracuse,
these people in. Yeah.
Rochester,
Yep.
Utica, Albany. Yeah, we don't stand a chance against them.
Yeah, New York City. I mean, I feel bad for the people there, the legal residents there.
Oh, I do too. I'll be right back. I'm not.
All right.
Actually, Luke was on the.
Yeah, there's actually a 50-50 split right now in New York City of Republican versus Democrat.
Yeah.
But in Syracuse, it's 90-10.
Yeah.
Rochester, I think that was 80-20. Albany is 99-1. You know,
Yeah, it's crazy. But
if they get the right Democrat in there, I think we can do good. And there is one running. I forget his name now, but I did put it on my Facebook page. It says, if this man runs, I am up for that. He's up here with me. Lynn, actually, Greg is up here with me. Greg and I live about, I'm going to say, less than 30 minutes apart.
I'm gonna find Amy and get her out of here. Sit down.
I'm gonna say, yeah, we're less than 30 minutes apart.
Yeah.
A little bit less. Maybe 27 and a half.
I live closer to the south. David's a northern boy.
Yeah, but we're still within 30 minutes apart.
Yep.
Say something.
Natasha, you know Natasha Lynn Dauber? You know Natasha Lynn
Yeah.
Dauber?
Yeah.
She just sent me a link to a property she found in Arkansas. It was like 6.9 acres for $690,000. But it has a 60 by 80 building on it. And it overlooks I think it's the bottom of a lake or something like that. And she's like, what do you think about this? And I said, well, I think the price is awful freaking steep. But that building is big enough for her to say, I can take a small section of that, turn it into my house, still have room for her business, which is doing what you're doing, basically.
Yeah.
Buying storage lockers and selling it. I think she could pull it off at $690,000. Me, I can't do that.
690,000
Yeah.
for how many acres?
6.8.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it's got all utilities and everything with a driveway, and that's 60 by 80 building on it. So I don't know. I wouldn't. To me, that's like, yeah, you're talking paying out $2,400 a month in payment minimum.
Yeah, if not more.
Yeah, if not more.
That's insane.
It is. It is.
I mean, if it was about 100 and some thousand, okay, I could see that. Doesn't matter if it's got the building. You could build a building. I could build a building. You know, but 600 and some thousand.
My new garage was 30 by 40, and that would have been like, I don't know, $28,000.
Yeah, but
And I
still,
don't do nothing. They just come in and they put it in same day. I order it, they deliver it, they set it up, and it's done.
yeah. I mean,
Not
even
insulated,
if
not wired, not anything. No electric going to it or anything. But it's like, wow. But that building, I guess it already has plumbing to it. It already has the septic hooked to it. Has the electric hooked up to it. Plus, it comes with a complete driveway. Each one of those is $10,000 a piece. But I can't justify that kind of property.
right. I mean, even if you bought the material from the lumber yards, you might spend 50 grand. Even if you built like a barndominium like Tim's building.
Yeah.
I just, the land is not worth
No. Up for that little bit.
$500,000.
That should be, to me, that should be well over 100 acres of land to make it even close to that value.
Oh yeah.
Get matched that mattress for that?
I can't, I told her, I says, it's a nice property. It's a very steep price.
Good to go.
You do have room in the building to put your house in there. If that's what you want to do, that's your option, but it's way too out of my ball. It's out of my ballpark.
Yeah. See, a 60 by 80 of pre-existing building, if it's all metal.
Yeah, it was all metal and insulated.
Oh, okay.
Water, sewer, electric, lights, the whole 9 yards. Everything's all done. But you figure your electric, that's probably 10 grand.
Well, I think it's more like 35.
It could be.
Yeah.
Then you got your well, that's another 10 grand. Then you got your septic, that's another 10 grand. You got a driveway, that's another 10 grand. But you're still talking low numbers versus that price, you know? To me,
Yeah, still that's a little too high.
yeah.
I mean, even around here, I shouldn't say that. My neighbor's house was pretty, and he,
Yeah, but your neighbor went above and beyond.
yeah.
For that neighborhood, come on. You
Yeah.
went way above and beyond. He was probably paying $12 a square foot or more.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
It is.
And it's
It
just
is.
him and his wife.
I can buy an acre of land right now in New York State, clear land, doesn't have any woods on it or anything else for $3,500.
Yeah.
I can buy a wood lot that would be like 12 acres for about the same price,
Right.
you know? So yeah, when it like down in Arkansas, when that property went up to $9,000 an acre through Mark, the one that Gary and Mary bought their land from, and back to Good and all them guys,
Yeah.
I told them, I said, there is no way that property is worth $9,000 the way it sucks.
Right.
Gary and Mary maybe probably because, well, I mean, they paid for less because, and they got buildings on theirs. They paid less. But
Yeah.
as it moved out from their property going out, the prices kept going up, kept going up, kept going up. And they got to like $9,000 an acre. And I'm like, for what? You don't even have a driveway.
Yeah.
You got access. But that's all
Well,
you do. And they didn't even do that right when they did Rachel and Sean's. They didn't even put the right of way in the right place.
Right. I saw that.
They veered off. So now they have to go in and put the right of way back where the right of way belongs, and then recuperate their own property at an expense. At an expense. Gary's not doing that for free.
Right.
He's
Well,
probably
I
getting
don't blame
$600.
him. I mean, that equipment don't run on air, you know. So
No.
and diesel
And
right now is not cheap. I don't care where you are.
No, but you also have the maintenance prices included in it
Right.
too.
Right.
And Gary's maintenance price right now it's gone pretty high. I mean, even though it was only a key switch and a solenoid,
Yeah.
the time down is costing him a fortune. Because if that was up and running, there's other people that want to hire him to do work. Actually, the people behind Sean and Rachel, they wanted to bring him back there and do work for them, and he's like, I can't do it. I can't get it work. You know, my backhoe don't work.
He needs himself a small dozer.
You know what? I was thinking a small dozer Or what would be really be good in that area would be like
Felt that way yesterday.
a 4-wheel Bobcat
Yeah.
with a forestry mounter on the front.
Is that
Oh, yeah.
linear or itself?
That would do wonders. That would do wonders.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can take trees with a forestry mounter.
Well, didn't
Save something for the
Wiley get one for his tractor?
I don't know if he actually got it, but I know he was talking about getting it.
I know he got the dump trailer. I think he got the mulcher too.
Maybe.
I think he got
know he
that
was
before he
talking
got
about
the trailer.
I know he was talking about wanting it because Jeff had told him if you had that, I would have hired you instead of the dozer. That's why I felt bad for him. I was like, where's Gina? Gina's laying right in bed.
She's
man.
right behind me. She's
You see that
let's see.
phone in that hand right there?
She's
That's
right
Lynn.
there, laying on the bed.
Or Gina, rather. Lynn, that's Gina.
People are asking where you are.
She's
She's right
playing
there.
lazy. She's playing lazy.
Yeah, no, she's on Whatnot shopping.
Oh well, hey, be buying gold right now if you can get it on Whatnot. Now's the time to buy it.
Now she's buying clothes
I can't tell you now.
for her and for the grandbaby, which is not here yet.
I will spend my life.
All right, well that's cool.
Yeah, my stepson, his girlfriend's having a baby, a little girl. She's due in October.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
October what?
Just saying I'm here.
some 18th. Gina just said.
No.
Nope, that's not gonna be my birthday gift. I was born.
No,
on,
it's way past mine. Mine's the 14th of August.
I was born on October 10th, so it's not gonna be my
Oh.
birthday present.
Hey, who knows? It could be. I'll tell you.
I do.
My son wasn't even my birthday present. He got born October 1st.
My
I told her,
sister,
cross your legs. We gotta wait.
my sister's is the 9th of October.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
I actually have an aunt that she was due on May 9th, and they were going to name her 9th of May.
Really?
Yeah, and she got born on the 10th of May, so they named her Rosella.
They already picked a name out for her. Autumn
Like 9th
Rose.
of May would have been cool, but even if she was born on the 10th, 9th of May would have been a cool name. You know? No,
Yeah.
her name's Rosella now. She was born a day late.
Yeah, they're gonna name her Autumn Rose.
That's a nice name.
Previously on the Big Bang Theory. Can you believe our little lamb is finally getting married? We can't believe it.
Is Gina going to match the grandbaby?
Well, clothes wise,
I guess.
the grandbaby, most everything that we have bought her has been all Disney.
Okay.
So
you got
I
to
mean,
put your hat back on to show that.
yeah, my Hatbox Ghost hat.
One. Yeah, because Len, Dave, Glut, and Arlene haven't seen your ghost spot hat. Look at that. He's got hair after all.
Yeah,
It's official. According to tradition.
yeah. Gina has a lot of Disney clothes. We actually lived 5 minutes from the main gate at Walt Disney World. We lived in Davenport, Florida, back in 2019 during COVID and all that good stuff. So,
Oh,
hey, he's got more hair than I do.
I almost forgot. While you were sleeping, voila.
see, I knew if he had hair on his head, it would be gray.
I was going
Yeah.
And then he
I
puts
just-
the hat on, and it just proves the point. He looks good in gray hair.
Hey, thanks, Lynn. I just shaved it because today we're sitting outside during the yard sale. I'm like sweating up a storm.
Oh, it was hot.
Oh, dude,
wasn't
it's
really
gonna be
hot, it
worse
was muggy.
tomorrow. We had shade. We had trees in the yard that we were sitting in, and tomorrow at the flea market there is no trees. You're right in it.
Oh,
Out in the sun.
and it's supposed to be 30% chance of rain, so the humidity is going to be really high.
Uh huh.
And we're looking at what, 90 degrees tomorrow?
I think a little warmer. We're under a heat advisory for the next 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, I know Sunday is like 30% chance of rain with, I think it's 90 degrees. And then Monday and Tuesday, at least what I've got in my area, which should be the same as yours, it's going to be up to like 90, 95 and total sun. And I'm like, oh, Leah's like, what are you going to do on those days? And I says, I'll be sitting in the backyard with a fan blowing on me and just sunbathing.
No one wants to be
And she's
Yeah,
like, are you taking the TV out with you? And I was like, I might get the one out of the camper and plug it in. I don't know, but I'm going to be sitting out there sunbathing. I may.
I'm wearing a tank top tomorrow.
Oh, I didn't plan on putting that on either. When it comes out that hot, I don't know if I'm even going to worry about putting shoes on.
86, it says the high for tomorrow.
86?
Yeah, 91 and 90 on Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
Right now, here where I'm at, it's 78 degrees, but the humidity's high.
Yeah, where I'm at right now, it's 79 and it's mostly cloudy.
Wow.
I went out and spent an hour mowing one part of our yard. I don't mow all the yard at once anymore. I do one part and then I save the other part for another day because it's just easier to break it up. It takes about 2 hours to mow my whole lawn. Not all mine, but I'm trying to make it all mine. And it takes me about 2 hours to do all of it. So I broke it down and said, this part takes me about an hour. And then this part over here takes me about an hour. So I kind of broke it up and said, I'll do this part. I'll make this part wait. Then I'll do this part and I'll make that part wait. I got up this morning and I went over and I looked at that other part and I'm going, yeah, I really need to get the mower going. I don't want to, but I got to do it. My neighbor across the road from me mows his lawn probably 3 times a week. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not keeping up with the Joneses on that one because I don't care. If that grass gets a little bit tall, let it get a little bit tall. Actually, it was really cool. It was really cool because I'm mowing in the back. I'm mowing the back 90 today. And I got a rabbit. This guy was only about, I don't know, 5 inches long. Little tiny guy. And as I'm going through with the mower, I spoke to him. He was eating the clover. I spoke to him out of the back field, and he decided he was going to run across, and I was watching him. I'm like, okay. And I went over to Leah, and I said, hey, we got a new baby rabbit in the neighborhood. And she's like, really? And I said, yeah, he's a little tiny thing. He hangs out by where I park my cars and stuff in the driveway, and he hangs out in the front yard. And he's a little bit bigger, but not that big. They're not that small. And then we got the parents that hang out behind the seed house. And now, rabbits.
Right.
They put them out as fast as they can think about them.
Uh-huh.
And I told her about this baby, and she's like, yeah, I think I've seen it. And while we were sitting on the front porch, we feed our chipmunks peanuts by hand. And we're out there feeding the chipmunks, and that baby rabbit popped his head around the corner of the seed house. And I was like, yeah, look. And she's like, what? And this is over there by the garbage can. She looked over and she says, yeah, them are big ears. And I says, yeah, but the body is only about 5 inches long. That's the baby I was telling you about earlier. Apparently, after I brought the mower back and shut it off, he decided to come over and see what the post was. He didn't stick around, but oh my God, it's cute.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. As long as they stay out of my garden beds. I'm going to have to go out and I'm going to put like 4 fence posts around the new garden bed where I'm getting ready to put my cucumber, zucchini, and pepper plant. I've got a planter with a cage around it for my tomato plants. So that's and I can put that up on the porch if need be and make it so it gets some sun, but it's not out there on the area where I can jump up into it.
Yeah. Lynn, we are actually from New York. We grew up here. In 2019, at that time, we wanted to live close to Disney. So we moved down to Florida. And then in just after COVID hit, I left the company that I drove for down there. and went to a company out of Shelbyville, Tennessee. So we moved to Shelbyville, and we we talked about it. We wanted to come back home and be around her family and, the two kids, which are grown adults now. So we came back to New York. Do I like New York? No.
I like
I'm
New York.
born and raised here, but I don't like it.
I like New York. I don't like our governor. I don't like the local politics that are invested into it. But as far as New York is concerned, I do like New York.
The only thing I like about up here is the fall.
The spring and the fall.
Oh, really? I mean, the scenery is beautiful. I mean, it's a good area to go for a motorcycle ride.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And but all the politics and the way they maintain everything up here, no. And they can't say they don't have the money because they do.
Actually,
Just they're using it all for downstate.
Greg talks about the maintenance. I'll be honest with you. You can tell when you go from county to county. I live in Cortland County. He lives in Broome County, the next county over. Once you cross that county line, go from Broome to Cortland, you can tell you just crossed county lines because the roads go from, okay, they're not really great, but they're not the best they can be. But when you hit Cortland County, holy crap, you better hang on to your pants.
Yeah.
Because these roads are crap.
Yep.
Crap. We have Soup Coat, which is the New York State largest road maintenance company, and they don't do anything on these back roads. They don't do anything on. They only do like the main roads, like 81, and I mean I live on 26. 26 has been maintained by Soup Coat through the state, but once I get off 26.
Oh, he's in
These
here.
roads are all potholes cracked, and they're all so old it's not funny.
And you know what they blame? They blame trucks. Well,
Yeah.
Let me tell you, when we were down in Shelbyville, and I did a lot of traveling from Tennessee to Illinois and up that way, and we would go through Paducah, Kentucky, and all that on 65.
All right.
The way they were redoing the roads, they would do blacktop. North Carolina is the same way in some parts. Blacktop, concrete, blacktop, concrete, and then blacktop on top of it. You think it's gonna heave that much? No way.
No.
You got all that pressure pushing down on that. That road's going to be solid. You think New York would do that? No. Come on. They set Interstate 86 out here that goes east to west. They dug up the whole side of the one side of the highway. Okay. You've been on 86, which is 17. Going towards Lake Elmira.
Yep.
They dug up going west, closed that side down, dug it up for a certain mileage, and redid it. Tore all the concrete out, redid it, blacktopped it. Now they're doing the eastbound side in that area they did. You know what they're doing? They're going right over top the concrete. What's going to happen as soon as that snow starts flying, those plows hit that blacktop, it's going to come right up.
Yep. In my area, right, what they're doing is they're going in and they've had Soup Coat working on it too, which really bothers me. They go in and they grind up.
I agree with you.
They grind up the blacktop, and then once they grind up the blacktop, they replace it with oil and stone.
Yeah.
Oil and stone versus blacktop, there is no comparison.
The only thing is when you get freezing rain, ice, or if they don't plow the roads right away on the stone and oil, it becomes a nice skating rink. That's the
Yep.
only thing about stone and oil. Other than that,
It's good during summer months,
yeah.
but by the time the next spring hits, it's terrible. It's all
Yep.
trash. The falls shove half of it off the road.
If we miss tonight, it's not scheduled until Thursday at 6.
I'm watching Big Bang Theory.
We got a 6:30 reservation at Daytona.
Oh, you gotta love those guys. Sheldon's funny.
Yeah, Sheldon's the man.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Gina's
Although I
grandmother.
like Penny.
Yeah. Gina's grandmother loved Sheldon. And I bought her a little bobblehead of Sheldon one time,
Okay.
and she used to have it sitting by her TV.
I like watching the other one there, Little Sheldon or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, young Sheldon.
Young Sheldon. I
Yeah.
watch that every once in a while. That's pretty funny. I've been watching him and his sister growing up during that.
Troy, I
show.
hope everything's okay.
Troy, good. Glad to see you. Troy, did you send it on my phone or did you send it on Facebook? Because I'm not sure how that one worked out. I'll check my phone real quick. But well, I didn't do that right.
Well, if you're going to stay, then I'll stay.
All right. Well, I got one from Greg, but I didn't get one from you, Troy. I don't know. Do you not have my number, Troy? Because if you don't, I can send it to you on Facebook. If you send it to me on YouTube, or on Facebook, I don't look at Facebook when I'm doing live.
We're gonna make it.
Oh boy.
We'll know the truth about the
All right. So let's see. Where do we go next on this one? So anyway, remember we were talking about my truck.
Yep.
And everybody said drive it 200 miles and see what happens.
Yeah.
I did that.
These are ulcerative
And then it turned into a rattle box.
You don't
Oh, dude, you got something else wrong.
Well, I went on to the Chevy Forum,
the latest
and
treatments
the guy told me, well, go in and pull out the ECM and BCM fuses.
daily pill that can deliver
Leave them out for about 30 minutes. I left them out for over an hour and a half. Put them back in and restart the truck. It should reset the computer. I restarted the truck. Nothing got reset. And I went back on the forum, and the guy said, no, that's not going to work. What you got to do is you got to take the ground wire off the battery.
Yep, you got to disconnect the battery too.
Put your foot on the brake pedal for about 30 seconds to drain the whole electrical system.
Mhm.
And then wait another 10 minutes and then reconnect it and then do it. I haven't done that part yet, but boy, I'll tell you what,
Gastroenterologist is switching to urban focus
if that doesn't work,
little is $0.
I'm just going to do the body work I need to do on the truck because I've got everything all ready to do it.
Yeah.
I just leave the parts in the driveway until I can afford to replace the motor. I found a place $3,200, and I think it's $3,203. I can get a motor a year newer than mine, which is the better motor. And then it's just mechanic fees to swap them out.
Troy, that's good news.
Nature sure is full of wonders.
You see what he said? Amy,
Yeah, Leonard's
Amy's
just
daughter
like
has
my daughter.
To us. For a limited time, create your own pasta has a new spicy
Well, that's awesome. Why didn't you bring Amy and Chris over to join us? That's awesome.
that's great.
As long as
That's what it is. Faith had a baby.
Frosty, because what would we even do? Add a bunch of new
I know she
seasonings in,
was having a little issues a couple of times.
pieces? That's kind of
Yeah, I heard that too.
Frosty, gotta be Wendy's.
That's awesome.
Like a relentless weed, moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms can keep coming back. Break
All
away
right, Troy, would you like to come in and join us?
with rapid remission at 12
I
weeks,
sent you the link.
bowel movements, and abdominal pain at 4 weeks. Most patients achieve remission at 1 year
If you'd like, I can send it to you again.
of the intestinal lining. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today.
I thought that was so funny after last week, and I was like, why is this doing this? What is this doing this? And then I found out, oh, it's connected to my phone. Why is it connected to my phone? Well, because my phone's connected to my computer.
You have it connected Bluetooth?
And my phone is connected, so that if somebody sends me a text message on my phone and I'm on the computer doing something,
Yeah.
I get their message on my computer to tell me, hey, this is what they said. You want to answer back, and I can do that right off my computer. And use
Right.
which is easier for me because I hate doing it on my phone. And I'm like, yeah, that's awesome, but I didn't know that it would take my camera and steal that option from me, or the next that option. And I'm like, what?
So you're the sweet, quiet one, and I'm Amy.
Joy, I can give you the link right here, right now, brother.
Check out what new radio station just created. I've been informed that some random attention-seeking nobody took a cheap shot at me on the local.
There you go, Troy. You got the link now. If you want to jump in, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I cut you
Thank you. As far as that goes, Lynn, Arlene, anybody else wants to join us, you're welcome to join us. We got room, I think it's for 5.
Be good for me.
Yeah.
We're gonna have up to a party of 5 on here, I think it is. So if anybody wants to join in, hit that link, set up your microphone and your camera, and shut off YouTube and join us. If you're in the green room, I'll bring you in.
Tissue, it appears I've got
Doesn't bother me at all. I don't. The more the merrier.
iPhone drop, but I won't because I don't have Apple Pay.
What do you say?
Nice try, genius. The skin is epithelial tissue. Oh, it's on. He's Kitty. I'm T Swift.
I'm one of these kind of guys that if I know who you are and I've seen you in my chat, I will invite you in. But I'm not going to be the kind of guy that if you're just popping in here and you want to join the chat or join the live and I've never seen your name pop up on it, you're not going to be invited in. It's as easy as that. Because I've seen that happen to other channels where I was a moderator. It was a disaster, and because of that, I will not allow it on mine.
Is it
You have
possible?
a very weak signal.
Okay, now I'm
Okay,
testing.
I accept that.
Here to my coin
I
scanning.
accept that. I've had times where I have very weak signals as well.
Don't talk to me about my brain. I'm
Dave, we gotta make those we gotta make some t-shirts of the Arkansas picture.
I can do that.
Of course they're listening. We're
The Three Musketeers in Arkansas, I can do
Yeah.
that.
I was gonna do it. I have a little shirt press, but I can't get the paper to work out right.
I'm only recently.
And
Well, anytime you want to do something like that for your own channel, Greg, all you gotta do is talk to me and say, hey, Dave, I would like this, and this is the size I want. 9 times out of 10, I can print it at my place, and I can just mail it to you or bring it down to you, and then you can press it on the shirts. But they have to be polyester. That's the number one thing. They have to be polyester.
yeah. Hey,
Hi, Ace. How you doing?
Yeah, you compared us to the strangest couple we
Good
know.
seeing you at the meetup, Ace. You surprised me. I didn't know who you were until then.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
I don't think many people. Well, maybe they did. I know I didn't.
Mrs. Fowler is an angry.
Well, a lot of people, when we went to the meetup, are going, oh, you brought your bodyguard? Yes, I did. Of course, they said the same thing about Patrick from
Cuddly Texan.
Calvary, Texas. Yeah. We were getting in the chow line, and they're going, Dave, you better hurry up and get in. Look at these people that are in front of me. And I was like, no, that's all right. I got my cleaner behind me. We're good. He slapped me on the shoulder so damn hard it wasn't funny. He says, that wasn't funny. And I says, well, you're behind me, aren't you?
You know,
I met Patrick in 2023, and we've gotten along great. I met Peter in 2023 too.
Peter's from up with Old Man King.
Yeah,
He's from up here.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he. I talked to him one night.
I think it was Johnson City, wasn't it?
No, it's. I just looked today too, because I was seeing if what any information on that meetup in November,
Oh, I just got that hit up. Yep. What
and
stuff?
I didn't see anything, but people are talking about it.
You talking about the Watchtower meetup?
Yeah,
Yeah, I just got hit on Facebook on that one earlier, and I was just like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna ignore it right now. But it was
and
there.
Just the right amount of airing.
and I looked. He went to ATM high school or something like that. Where it's upstate, it's not downstate.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because oh, what the heck was it? Let me see if I can find it.
I was thinking it was closer to Johnson City area.
No, I'm closer to Johnson City than the place he
Oh,
was.
you are very close to Johnson City.
Yeah. I mean, I'm more close to Pennsylvania than I am Johnson City, but
Yeah, that too. Yep.
let's see.
Well, being close to Pennsylvania doesn't mean anything, because if you want to go to Pennsylvania, actually, this was the funny part I told people on our trip.
When I was little,
You think it's a long drive going down through Pennsylvania? Try driving across Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee's long.
I believe that it's about the same from our point going down through Pennsylvania as it is going across Tennessee the way we went.
I'm just worried if I
That
don't
was a long, long drive.
think about them and
Couple hours.
distant and seek solace in the arms
Pennsylvania is a long state, and Tennessee is a really long state if you cross it.
Yeah. He's
Right.
from
along the shore.
Altamar, Altmar, New York.
Okay, that's above Syracuse.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. I knew he was from upstate area. He had told me. He said not downstate.
Okay.
Because he worked, it says he worked at Price Chopper Supermarkets.
All the schedules you want.
Right.
Price Chopper, as far as I know, is only
I'll create
upstate. I don't think they have a Price Chopper downstate.
you know why it won't be a true
They
The
might have one
lowest,
in Poughkeepsie and all that, but
Generation of
well, the lowest that I know of Price Chopper ever going was down here in Cortland County.
where are we going?
yeah.
And they didn't last long because there were so many other stores. We had Tops, and we had this one, and we had that one. And they just couldn't compete.
Tops is big in Tioga County and Chemung out that way and up your way.
Yeah,
Hey.
well, Tops my way right now is no longer Tops. Now it's Grand Union.
Grand Union?
Grand Union bought out the Tops in my area.
Really? Grand Union filed bankruptcy because they closed the stores here in Binghamton.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a Grand Union where Tops used to be. I don't know how. Well, probably by filing bankruptcy, they had money to play with.
Yeah. They're probably trying to make a comeback.
Yeah.
That's like Great Americans. Great Americans, they all closed.
Yeah, I had one of them. I had one of them at my parents' house. It was a quarter mile away.
I wish they would bring. I wish they would bring Piggly Wiggly or Food Lion up here.
Now, I can't wait to say.
I like Wegmans.
Wegmans is good, yeah. The only thing I like at Wegmans, I mean, because in my opinion, they're very expensive,
Oh, they are.
but their subs,
The quality of food
you
is
get a
awesome.
sub like that for like $15. I
Yep.
mean, it's huge, and the rolls are always fresh. Kind of like people in the South, Publix. Public subs for down there, to me, are one of the best subs that you can have. Up here, it's, Wegmans,
Right.
because you get your money's worth.
We got a local store called PNC Fresh.
Yeah.
And you can go there and you can buy what they call the whole sub, which is about $12. But that whole sub is like 3 feet long.
Really?
It's freaking huge.
Dude,
I've gone in there and paid like $6-7 for like the half sub the day after. My Lord, those things are big. You're talking a foot and a half sub for $7-8. And
Yeah,
it's just like everybody's going, but they're a day old, and I don't care if they're a day old. It
I
doesn't
wish
how much doing.
when I get a Wegman sub, I don't even get. I mean, I get in the car and I start eating it.
Yeah.
Because I have them cut it in quarters. I finished the whole thing.
I used to work at a restaurant called Low Time Kitchen, and part of my job was to go to the bakery every day and pick up our fresh bread. And they'd have Italian loaves and all this other stuff. And I'd pull in there, and it'd be like, I got like 60 loaves of fresh Italian bread in the back of the car. And Vince, the baker, he was a friend of mine. So we're like, hey, I need one more loaf. And he'd like, for what? And I said, for me. And he's like, okay. I'd eat that whole loaf. Of course, I always had another guy with me because it took two of us to load the car. I had another guy with me. We'd break that loaf in half, and we'd eat that whole half loaf. Driving back to the little tiny kitchen, to unload the rest of the bread. And then when we get there, the owner would be like, you guys want some of this? You want some of that? She was always offering like a hard loaf with like a pepper sauce dipping sauce.
Yeah.
Hotter than crap, but it made the bread taste awesome. And me being the glutton, would be like, yeah, I'll do that. Somebody Matt was like, yeah, I'll do that. And they'd be like, okay, now we got to have another loaf of Italian bread because we got to get rid of this hot out of our mouth. And it was funny. We did it like almost every day.
Yeah, all the good bakeries closed here.
Oh yeah, we don't have any here either.
Roma's and
we have PNC Fresh. PNC Fresh bakes every night.
yeah.
So if you want to go for a fresh bagel, PNC Fresh in the morning, that's the best one to go to. And I used to buy what they called the asshole donuts. They don't have a hole or not the donuts. The asshole bagels. They didn't actually have the hole in the center of the bagel. It was like a pinch stir in the middle of the bagel. So when you put the cream cheese on, it didn't fall out the center hole.
Yeah.
So there wasn't one. Oh my God, those things fresh, they are awesome. I've sent them over to my mom's house in the morning and say, hey, got cream cheese, here's a bagel. You don't have cream cheese, I'll grab the cream cheese on my way over. Here's a bagel. And they are so fresh and so tasty. They are awesome. And they're right fresh out of the oven first thing in the morning. They also make fresh donuts every night. You know, the bakers work all night long, and then whatever's on their counter is sold out, they're done. They don't do anything else during the daytime for fresh bread. But during the nighttime when they do bake, oh my God, they put out so much. And it's so good.
I used to love delivering to the Wendy's in Parsippany, New Jersey, and when I worked for Willow Run,
All right.
and because there was the bakery right next door, and you'd pull up there at 1-2 o'clock in the morning to make your delivery, and
Right.
you would smell the fresh bread, the fresh bagels, the fresh, whatever. And if you got to the loading dock before all the independent people came in to get their stuff, he would always throw you some, bagels or whatever. And we used to sit there and eat them on our trip the rest of the night.
Don't even need cream cheese. Give me a fresh hot bagel and I'm eating it.
Yeah.
And the muffins were good too until they put the sugar on top.
Yeah.
That was always my thing. If you could get to the bakery when they're just pulling the muffins out of the oven before they put all that big crystal sugar on top, all those muffins were awesome. But once they put
Hey, Lauren and Joe.
Yep, not doing it. Hey, Lauren and Joe, welcome in.
I had Wi-Fi and a long plane flight. Draw your own conclusions.
I don't know. We were supposed to quit at 8 o'clock, but my normal live doesn't start till 8 o'clock. So if you want to keep going, I don't have a problem again this time either.
You were right here.
I have to get up at 4 o'clock probably.
Oh, it's your option, brother.
It doesn't matter. If everybody wants to stay on, we'll stay on. I don't care.
Well, we got 6 on with us right now, and most of them joined us within the last 12, 15 minutes. So you want to stay on, we can stay on. I don't have an issue with that. I haven't done my dinner yet, but I can do that at 9 o'clock. I don't care.
Kind of what you got there, Craig?
It's important to challenge.
Well, Lauren, I'm good you're with us. You're still stuck in the chair.
You got to
Joe, go pick her up and get her out of the chair. No.
She's still stuck in the chair from last night live.
Lauren, why are you stuck in the chair?
You didn't know she got hurt?
Is a meal.
No, I didn't hear that.
Cheese.
Yeah, her leg
Toasty.
down by.
Lunch just got croissant.
I think it was her side, the side of her leg, or side. Something happened. There's a little video. You'll have to go back and watch it.
Yes, I will.
And her explaining some of it.
Okay.
No, she wasn't trying to rollerblade in the house.
You got your leg torn up. All right, Lauren, what were you doing to get your leg torn up?
She was trying to find fresh bagels. No, I'm just kidding.
She's probably trying to figure out where Joel was hiding.
I got AT&T's bundle of 3. iPhone 16.
I know where he was. He was in the laser room.
New and existing customers get their iPhone 16 Pro on us with eligible trade-in.
I don't know. I mean,
SD for 99 cents.
I have lasers too, and actually I've sent a lot of laser files out to other people. I think I sent some to Marcel and Denise when they first got their laser, and I was like, guys, these are sellers. This is what I've got, and they're easy to adopt. And it was like a
That's 4 times more dust before clean.
what do they call that? You could have like the letter S for your name, and then it was cleared out in the center with some leaves around the outside, and then you could put the actual person's name in the center.
For your money back. Lowe's knows our pro members always want. That's why
I was waiting for Lauren to come in so I could show her my new hairdo.
eligible purchases.
Oh, it was a new dog? Okay. Yeah, sometimes new dogs don't know how to behave. I understand that. I understand that.
You plus him. I got a 10. I'll be watching. F1 the movie.
Oh, so you were like caught in the middle.
Wow. Yeah.
Hey, that's not a good place to be.
What's wrong with it?
That's not a good place to be.
Dear Aunt Helen, thank you so much for the lovely place setting. If my handwriting looks strange, then
Lauren, what do you think about Greg's new hairdo?
Yeah, you like that?
the muscles
He's actually got hair now
that struggle to finish this sentence.
for a little bit.
Ow, ow, oh,
It's still hot. It's only down 77 degrees.
Fine.
You're right, Lauren. It is hot, hot, hot. And it's 77 degrees in New York right now.
Perfect gift for the
I
perfect.
bet you doesn't keep it on for long.
Throw it back in their face.
No, I won't. Thing's smaller than my head.
A letter opener.
So the other dog is no longer a threat. Did they chain him up, or what's the deal with that?
It's nice.
What is it?
You know, it's one of those.
Hey, Simply Dan, how are you?
Oh, we got Simply Jen coming in. Hi, hi, hi. How you doing, honey?
I don't want to lick it, you lick it. I'm not gonna
I actually have been looking at livestock dogs.
sci-fi shows.
None of the sci-fi shows I watch are done.
I forget the actual breed. But in my local area, they want $450 for an untrained puppy.
They know us better than anyone. They said it's the
Where'd
kind
Moose go?
we must be missing
And
something.
I'm like, $450? Is it a household? And they're like, oh no, it's just a puppy.
I think it's a marital aid.
Can you say hi to everybody?
There you go.
This is my guardian dog right here. He'll lick you to death and go to sleep, and that's it.
How you doing, Buster?
It's Mushu.
Oh, Mushu's got a tongue that says, no, I'm Buster. He looks like the Buster Brown dog.
He's thought about it before, but he doesn't need a baggie because he
Aw.
wants food with his eating.
Well, that's good. He ended the attack.
Oh, I thought about it a lot.
Can you say hi? Say hi. All right, Daddy will put you back in your bed.
Oh, I can kiss everybody, but other than that, I'm pretty much done.
They're way past flirting. I caught them making out at children's way.
Yeah, I wanted to get a livestock dog, and I couldn't get over the prices. I forget the name. I forget the breed.
I had to buy the dog.
Yeah.
They're like $450, and they're not even house trained.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're not supposed to come in your house. And I was like, yeah, but as a puppy, I don't want it around my chickens if it's not trained.
That's actually, Dave. That's actually cheap for those dogs. Mushu, he's a purebred pug. And we paid what, $425, $450 for him. 13 years ago. Now, because of the pug won the best in show or best in breed or whatever, they're through the roof now.
No, you're probably looking at 800, 850.
Yep, even higher in some areas. But we got him through an AKC certified breeder, so we knew everything was legit.
That's the problem I'm looking at with these. Is are they certified breeders? That's a problem. Everybody advertises things, but nobody can back up what they advertise.
Yeah, Lauren, because people think if they come up with a new breed of dog, they'll make it rich.
And Lauren, you're right. Australian Shepherds, they are high dollar.
No, and
totally. You're right. There's a lot of inbreeding, so sometimes the inbreeding makes them very, very hard to train.
Yeah.
Australian Shepherd's a beautiful dog. That one that Mike and Melissa have.
The what?
Okay, the dog that Wednesday that Mike and Melissa have.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was taking that dog in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Even though that dog is like really wild, it does have the ability to be trained.
But you gotta.
You gotta work with him.
Wednesday's a good dog. I mean, we saw Wednesday when we were there, and she horsed around with us a little bit.
Yes, she did. Not as much as the little one, Natasha.
Oh, Natasha, is it Natasha? No, Nikita.
Nikita.
Yeah, Nikita. Yeah, she's a trip.
Nikita kept coming over and stealing all my parts. Mike and I were both chasing her around, going, "Hey, give it back, give it back, give it back." She was taking on my insulators.
Yeah, Lauren. I mean, to me, that's the way you get. I mean, I know there's so many dogs in shelters and stuff, and that actually eats at me big time. But the more responsible thing to do is buy from responsible breeders that actually care for the animal and not the green dollar. Yeah, you're right there. I agree with you 100%.
I've seen a lot of them though where they were like just free running in Arkansas. There was like 2 livestock dogs in the parking lot of the store that were living in the store parking lot. And I reached out and said, "Hey, I'll take both of them. I'll make a drive to Arkansas to pick them up. If you want to get rid of these dogs and get them out of your parking lot, I'll make the drive." And you know what they told me? Our employees have already adopted them. It's too late.
Yeah. I mean,
I think it was a feed store.
You could do a search. Like I follow Mid-Atlantic Pug Rescues. And the amount of pugs that they get that people either try to crossbreed and this and that, I'm like, really? I mean, look at all the puppy mills that they've shut down in the last, let's say, 3 years.
And they're still doing it. They're still doing it.
Yeah. And it's like, really? Because people, it's all about the money to them. They don't care what happens to the dog.
They don't care about the breed.
Yeah, no, they don't care about any of them. And that's the thing I said to Gino, and this is one thing I've always, ever since I was a little kid, I've always wanted to, if I was ever to buy land, buy enough land. I don't know if you've seen them on Facebook or anything. The Asher House. Where's he out of, babe?
No, I haven't.
I think he's out of like Utah or somewhere out there. But he'll go wherever it is to go to rescue a dog. And he's very patient. And that's what I want to do.
I've watched that one guy, I don't know his name, on YouTube, where he goes into like these dog kennels where they've got rescued dogs and they're in the kennels. And he'll go in and he'll just sit down and the dogs will be really skittish. He'll go in with the most patience and sit down and he'll talk to the dog real calmly and stuff. And he'll finally get the dog to come over and sit on his lap and take treats out of his hand. He is just the most awesome guy that I've ever watched on YouTube. I forget what his name is. My brother Dale hooked me up watching him.
It might be the Asher House.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, because he'll if like he'll go and take a dog that's been in a facility for more than 400 days, take him to his property and let him live the rest of his life out, running free with the pack and everything. Right. And
there's a lot of them that do that, actually.
Yeah, that's one thing I've always wanted to do. If I was ever able to ever buy land, I would buy enough to where I could have a facility for dogs. I like cats too, but just any animals in general. And I would have an area where there'd be an air conditioning area for them at night, and they'd be able to go outside and heat for the winter. Because like I got a bunch of blankets that I have in a basket out in the garage from the storage units. I'm going to take them and wash them and donate them to our local humane society for the dogs. Because, we got talking about this at the yard sale on my wife's stepmom. She feeds all the stray cats in the neighborhood. And they'll take them and have them fixed and pay for it out of their own pocket and not, want nothing back from anybody because she does it. She loves cats. And so does her cat.
Control the population.
Yeah. And, and the city does absolutely nothing. I mean, people could take their animals and drop them off anytime they want. And that's not right in my book.
All
right.
Back about 20 years ago, Greg, I had a camp that was 13.13 acres, and I named it Pine Hill Horse Rescue. And the whole thing was, I had a guy that lived on the property with me. He was my eyes and ears when I wasn't there, but he was a horse guy. And when I mentioned to him what I wanted to do, he was like, "I am all in." I was like, "All right, well, cool. But here's the deal. We got 13.13 acres. We have absolutely zero fencing. So we need to have an electric fence put up." And we had to look for the most humane electric fence. It was a white ribbon with just one wire running through the middle of it. And I contacted the company and I said, "Well, this is how much wire we need. And then we need to have a charge unit to be able to do it. But what do we need for poles? What do we need for this? What do we need for that?" And we went through the whole thing. And because we have, you've seen it in New York where you got the horse trailers where the bottom falls out of the horse trailer and her legs are dragging on her foot.
Mommy.
they did it through New York with these horse trailers, and the legs are falling through the floor of the trailer, and your horse's legs are dragging on the road. And I was like, let's just do a horse rescue. And he's like, all right, I'm in. I'm game with us. I'm good with horses. And I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, so am I. And they put the cost together to be able to put that fencing up. We were talking for 13 acres. It was like 13.13, but to do a 13-acre area, the cost of doing that fence was somewhere in the neighborhood of about 22 grand.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah, and it was like, we're not doing all the work. We got other people in there with drills, and we got other people in there putting the posts in and putting the fence up, and then buying everything that has to be done. And it just got to the point where we just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I myself was making 50 grand a year, but because I bought the land and I had other expenses invested into it, I couldn't put that money out to begin with. We were working with local like humane societies and stuff going, would you work with us and help us out with this? And not a single one of them said, no, we don't want anything. No, nobody wanted anything to do with horses. Even local ASCPA or ASSP, yeah, what is it? ASCPSA or whatever. They didn't want anything to do with it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why? And they were like, because we have to take care of all the small animals. The SPCA does small animals. And I was like, but you guys are also supposed to do larger animals too. We don't have the funding for it. We can't help you. And I'm like, it's not the way it's supposed to work.
Right.
You know?
See, they do get funding from your states. They say they don't, but they do get funding from your states.
Yeah, but I reached out for it to set up the horse rescue. New
Yeah.
York State said absolutely not interested. And I'm like, it's New York State where these horses are getting driven down the highway with their feet through the bottom of the trailer.
Because it's not a
81.
it's not a benefit for them. They benefit nothing from it.
No.
Because they rather kill them and I
Welcome
hate
to
to
the
say
glue
that,
factory.
but they rather kill them and make them glue.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I mean,
glue and dog food. That was the
Yep.
biggest. Glue and
Yep.
dog food.
you see what Lauren's saying?
But their deal was like, well, if they're made into dog food, that helps the SPCA feed the dogs that they've got in their shelter. So it's better for us not to help you, to help them.
Yep.
I was like, are you freaking serious? I mean, it was only $22,000 to set it up. We
Yeah.
would have gone in and built the shelters and all that stuff on my dime, you know?
Yeah.
But they did not want to do anything to help us out. And
Yeah.
I reached out to quite a few groups. SPCA was only like one of them. But I reached out to many groups, and I'm like, would you please help us out? Nope, can't do it. We already got too many dogs. We got too many cats. We got too many rabbits. That was a funny one. We got too many rabbits. Well, I got rabbits all over my yard.
Yeah.
I got a mama rabbit. She's a big one. She's as big as anything David's got on his property. He had a little one. That little one's about 3/4 of her size now.
Wow.
Today in my yard, I found a baby. This thing is only 5 or 6 inches long. And it's like, okay, well, mama had babies, baby had baby. Now I got little babies. And how many little babies do I got? I don't know. I've seen one, you know?
Yeah.
Do I care? No, I don't. But if they get into my garden, yes, I care. I planted my whole garden 2 weeks ago. I have no plants in my garden. I got new plants to put in the garden, but I have to fence the garden in to make sure that the rabbits can't get in there at them. And then fold the fencing over so the birds can't get in at them either, because apparently the birds are getting in there. I have cucumbers, zucchini, pepper, tomato. Everything is about maybe an inch tall right now on the ground. I've got plants growing and they're growing really big.
Places of
And I'm like, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna make it work, but I'm gonna have to go in and I'm gonna
I'm listening. I'm telling Gina
Okay.
about what Lauren's saying.
Yeah, that's all right. Not from. I was going with like chicken wire, and I got like I think it's 36-inch chicken wire, and bend it over at about 18 inches, and then put fence posts in, and use that 18-inch fold over to keep the birds from going into the garden and mess with the plants until they get big enough to where they can take care of themselves. I got
Did you?
chipmunks. Chipmunks don't really normally mess with plants, but apparently the real strawberries they like to eat.
Oh yeah.
The wild strawberries in my flower bed, they do not touch them because we feed them peanuts. But if a real strawberry comes up, oh, they'll eat that thing fat. I'll be watching it going, almost ready, almost ready. Okay, should be ready today. Go out, and it's like, not there. And I've got a lot of real strawberry plants, you know. I've got one that's really cool. I have never seen a strawberry plant put out a red flower. And I found it at a nursery for like $1.25, and I bought it. That thing lays out really huge strawberries, and it's not a June-bearing strawberry. It's a perpetual strawberry. I've never got one strawberry off that plant.
Wow.
I'll watch them grow, and as they start to turn red, I'll pay attention to them, and they'll be like, okay, tomorrow that strawberry is going to be ready to pick. I'll go back out tomorrow to pick that strawberry, and there's no strawberry there.
They're gone.
Well, strawberries have seeds. Same thing with blackberries. If I don't keep the blackberries picked, the chipmunks will eat the blackberries because blackberries have a lot of seeds.
Quick question. You mean just
They eat bird seeds. They eat everything. We hand feed them peanuts to try to keep them out of the gardens, but certain things they just decide they just have to have. And then we got birds. You know, the birds will eat anything.
Is that who you're gonna set me up with?
If it's a seed, they'll eat it. Even if it's not, like my tomato plant, it started out probably 8 inches tall. This inch. My
Wow.
cucumber plant, non-existent. My zucchini plant, non-existent. My pepper plant, that thing is maybe 6 inches tall, no leaves.
We tried to grow some stuff in those bag planters.
All right, I got two of those on my porch. I'll hook you up.
Yeah, we got 4 of them, and then I had found an above ground flower pot planter bed,
All right.
and we put some in there, and it just I don't have time to tend to them, so I think they all got sunburnt
All right.
because they're done. So I'm like, well, we got the seeds from you. We'll try them next year. I'm not gonna bother with it this year.
I actually have drip hoses set up in my garden beds, and I have a timer to say, well, this one's going to be on for this long or whatever.
Yeah.
We're out cleaning off the front porch today, and one hose, the timer is not even on. So the hose was, but the timer wasn't. One hose was running out water so bad that I was like, man, if that was in a garden bed, it would have flooded the garden bed. And the timer is turned off. And I'm like, okay, well, that means I got to replace the timer.
Without revealing my true self.
And then hook the hoses back up. And you can't have something just running water 24/7 into the bed. That's a bad idea.
Right.
So I got to replace the timer. And I was like, well, this time of year, go find one.
Yeah.
You go to Walmart, they're in the Halloween already.
Yeah. Yeah. By July 1st, they'll be into Christmas.
Yeah. It's weird. But you can't buy another timer right now local.
No.
I checked my local hardware store right here in Cincinnati. I said, I need a garden timer. I prefer a manual one. When I set it, it's 30 minutes and that shuts the water off. Yeah, we don't have any more.
I can get them from work.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm
But-
sure.
Milk chocolate beyond words. Classic recipe, but
Lauren's still with us?
We're down to 4. All right, well, guys, you know, we are running this one long out. And Greg's been over here yawning since we started.
Yeah. Long day today, man.
I think we're going to call this one tonight. I'm glad everybody came and joined us.
Yes, thank you.
And If you haven't yet, go over to G&G Adventures.
No, hit the road with G&G.
Hit the road with G&G. And unfortunately, we don't have Troy Lewis to tell you his channel name. But I'm Half-Ass Homestead. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to call this one a night. Everybody have a good night.
Bye, y'all. See you later, Dave.
Later, guys.